Hello, greeting boxing fans. Today we have a profile on Jack Bonner. The Summit Hill man is what he was referred to in the newspapers. So long before the Italian stallion ran up the stairs in Philadelphia, there was an original Philadelphia fighter from Summit Hill, Pennsylvania, and his name was middleweight Jack Bonner. Bonner was a very tough trial horse. Jack Bonner was a lot like some of the other fighters of his period, Owen Sullivan and Charlie Johnson and Dick O'Brien. All of these were trial horse boxers, and they were more known for winning, competing, and actually gutting out draws that were just incredibly miraculous human efforts. Charlie Johnson, if you look him up in the boxing rec, he had several fights that went 25 rounds, long before the likes of James J. Jeffries going 25 rounds with Tom Sharkey. I think that was in 1899. There was many fighters doing it far before that time frame. And one of these fighters, one of these trial horses, is indeed the middleweight Jack Bonner. Jack Bonner was an absolute Old West renegade. This guy was like a modern sort of a gangster. He literally had himself gold teeth implants with the money he won. He was from Philadelphia and known as like one of the main antagonists that was starting several ring riots that were known throughout the decade. Jack Bonner was probably the main opponent or the main culprit of one of the absolute biggest boxing events of the entire decade, which was Mustard Gate with the likes of one of his main competitors, Tommy West. And of all the boxing accounts that I've read, it's only two times that I've actually seen where a boxer punched the referee. And both of them were riots that Jack Bonner started. I mean, he was like the combination of Tom Sharkey mixed with Joe Butler. Absolute no good troublemaker that is going to have be completely unhinged. That's what Jack Bonner was. Jack Bonner was a completely unhinged Philadelphia gangster with gold teeth. He walked around and, if there was a riot getting started, he was probably heavily involved with it. Like I said, he was a trial horse. He reminds me quite a bit of the boxer Dick O'Brien, which is coming up here. Both of these boxers, Jack Bonner and Dick O'Brien, just had amazing amounts of stamina where their main real claim to fame was that you couldn't knock them out, there was so many countless instances where boxers had a considerable leverage on Jack Bonner, considerable leverage, dropping him multiple times in a round, and the end result is they were not able to knock him out. And Dick O'Brien had that trait himself. These fighters are kind of more known for losing than they are winning. But the thing is, Jack Bonner is competitive rounds fought is much higher than a lot of other people. He's at like 268, I think, is his competitive rounds. I can't remember for sure, but it's way up there. It's almost near 300. because his competition level was so good, it's pushing the competitive rounds up, because these are competitive rounds are all top 60 boxers. That's what's getting counted as competitive rounds. And Jack Bonner just literally sliced right through the entire decade. So his first match, I couldn't find any information on it, but he starts with his very first level up is Peter Maher, which is one of the greatest fighters of the decade here. And that's his first match. And he does that in the year 1892. So that's a pretty early start into the 1890s, and he soars all the way through the decade, fighting all the best fighters. Every single fighter that was somebody, this guy fought. And, he had not a lot of wins, but my final score for him was 13, which is actually the same score as the previous boxer on my profile. Colin Bell, but Jack Bonner got there the old school way. He had to get 1 point things for draws, and so basically he needs 6 draws to make up 2 wins for a fighter. So Colin Bell got 6 points just from fighting Tom Heaney twice, whereas Jack Bonner actually did it the old school way and got himself 6 draws in order to get 6 points, which is a score of 13, that's still pretty darn good, because he literally went through all the toughest competition, and, his success rate wasn't the highest. But, see, Jack Bonner was the fighter throughout the decade where if you beat Jack Bonner, then you're in line for a title shot. So I think both times that the boxer Tommy West beat Jack Bonner, he got a title shot with Tommy West, and Jack Bonner also fought Tommy Ryan. Tommy West got title shots with Tommy Ryan and off of the wins from Jack Bonner, and Jack Bonner also fought Tommy Ryan, because both of them were competing against Tommy Ryan. So Jack Bonner is right around the level of what he ranks in here is boxer number 46, I think he is. So he's right around the threshold mark for a top 40 boxer, for the entire era, which is a big thing. So being a top 40 boxer, he's much higher than that for his individual time. That's like the entire era. So at any point throughout his career, he was probably right on the verge of being a top 5 boxer, like for a middleweight. He was always right on the threshold there. So if you beat him as a threshold for a top 5, then you're, in the top 2 or 3 to be able to fight for a championship. So he was very much like sort of like what Jim Flynn later became far after the likes of Jack Bonner, which is just a trial horse to prove that you're ready to take on the champ. So that is a great look at the Gold Tooth gangster from Philadelphia, known as the middleweight Jack Bonner. Your boxing profile is coming up. And I just wanted to say here before I sign off, I'm going to do 2 videos on both of Jack Bonner's biggest riots. So his first riots were with the black boxer Joe Butler. And then, of course, after that is Mustard Gate, a little bit farther, a couple of years in the future. But these stories are just so incredibly entertaining and imaginative. You just really need to actually just hear it, because it's some of it's like I said, very hard to believe. The language is very colorful at this time, and they seriously have some amazing things happen. I mean, you're just not even gonna actually believe both of the riots that I'm gonna do videos on. Both of them are instances where the boxer punched the referee. I mean, and police involved, full scale, like entire arena riot, and like not just riot of the boxing teams. I'm talking like real riot. I mean, like 500 people, all pandemonium breaks loose. I mean, that's what Jack Bonner did. So both of his riots I'm going to make videos for, and I really, really believe that you're going to be very highly entertained listening to them, because they're just absolute priceless time frame snapshot in history of just a long gone renegade old west age that is absolutely no holds barred madness. It's really what it was. So I hope you watch both of the videos on the Jack Bonner Riot #1 and Jack Bonner Riot #2. Mustard Gate is #2.